This is your Thursday's maths lesson. Let's check you've got what you need: a sharp pencil, a ruler and your maths book. Just to remind you, we've got two symbols that you'll see on each slide, and that's giving you a clue whether you're going to be listening to what's being said or whether you've got something to do with your pencil and your book. So look out for those, that will help you as we go through the lesson. Can you write down the date and LO, please, and underline it with a ruler? So pause the video now. Okay, so today we're going to be comparing statements. We're going to be using those comparing signs we've seen quite a lot of in maths. To remind you, we've got this sign here, which means greater than. Underneath it, we've got this sign here, which means less than. And then we've got one we're all familiar with, equal to. So if you're thinking straight away, I find it really tricky to remember those, jot that, what's in that little help box in your book or on your paper, the way you're working, because you can always refer to that later in the lesson. So to get you started, this is our activity slide here. I'd like you to look at the two different groups either side the bubbles, okay, for each of these three questions, and I'd like to see if you can compare them. So you're going to add in one of those comparing symbols into the circle. I think for this one you can draw it into your book actually. So pause the video and try those first three. Okay, so we should know that to do this comparing, we need to find out what we've got on this side and what we've got on that side. So here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's often helpful to just write next to that group what you've got. And then over here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to write that on to remind me. Now I can see that 6 is greater than 5, so I'm going to pop my symbol there. 12 times 0, that's 12 lots of nothing. So therefore the total is nothing. Now 12 add 0 means I've already got 12 and I'm just adding nothing onto it. So actually my total this time is 12. I've got 12. Therefore, I can see that 0 is less than 12. Always remember to read from the left-hand side across. Okay. Now the last one, let's have a look. We've got 50. I don't need to do any working out because I've got the number there, but here I do. 12 times 4. Well, I know 10 times 4 is 40. 11 times 4 is 44. 4 more is 48, and I can see straight away that 50 is greater than 48. Okay, so mark those, tick them if you got them right. Let's move on then to our explore. So this slide is a listening slide, so pop your pencils down. Here we've got two different groups. Okay, we've got the left-hand side, which is a group, and the right-hand side, which is another group. And we've got some dots on a dice. Now, if we look here, we've got groups of Have a think what that's going to be. And on this side, we've got groups of Have a think again what that's going to be. So we have got 4 groups with 5 in each group. We're looking at the dots. And on this side, we've got 5 groups with 4 in each group. Now, if we think about the totals of those two groups, you might have noticed something. It's the switcher. So actually 4 times 5 is the same as 5 times 4. And we know that that total is, that's big letters, 20. And again, the total is 20. So in the middle this time, we need the equals to. 4 times 5 is equal to 5 times 4. Both groups are the same. Okay, let's have a look at some different examples here. So this time we've got towers instead of dice. We've got a different amount of towers. So I want you to just, without using your pencil, just have a think about what the multiplication sentence is going to be under here. N times n. And again for this side, n times n. Pause the video, just have a think. Yeah, so on this side, we've got 2 groups of 6, 2 towers with 6 cubes in each tower. And on this side, we've got 7 groups of 2. We've got 7 towers with 2 in each tower. Now, in order to compare these 2 pictures, I need to find the answer. So, all my cubes in ones. That would take me a long time. I could count them in multiples, or it might be a fact that you already know. I know that double 6 is 12. And I know that 7 groups of 2, because I know my 2 times table, is 14. And therefore, I can see that 12, always read it from the left, remember, 12 is less than 14. Okay, I want you to have another think about the next one. So the next question is shown as 2 arrays. Okay, have a look at them carefully. What's going to be underneath these black boxes, do you think? It's going to be n times n and n times n. Pause the video and have a think first. Okay, yeah, so we've got 3 groups of 5, 3 times 5, and 5 times 3. You might have noticed that it was the same array, just laying on its side. So the rows and the columns hadn't changed, they were just swapped around. So I know using my 5 times table or my 3 times table, that 3 times 5 is 15. I straight away know that that's going to be the same total. So 3 times 5 is equal to 5 times 3. Another listening slide for you next. You've got these 2 boys again, and they're playing that game, and they want to find out who has got the greater card. So again, like before, we can't just pop that symbol straight away, and we just need to think about what the total is on these 2 cards first. So 15 divided by 3 and 15 divided by 5. I wonder if there's something we can draw to help us see this clearly, so we know we can really see the answer. Sometimes drawing pictures helps us work out things, doesn't it? That could be something you remember today. If you come across a question you're not sure straight away, draw a picture of it. We've done lots of dividing, haven't we? We've done lots of timesing now, so I feel confident that you'll be able to draw a picture of the calculation to help you. Underneath here, I've chosen to draw a bar model to help me. So we can see that on this side we've got 15, which is the total, because we always start with the total on our dividing questions, divided or shared into 3 equal groups, and we've got 5 in each of those groups. And on this side, again, we've got 15 as our total, and it's been shared into 5 groups this time. They're equal, and in each group we've got 3. So think about who has got the greater card. Who has won this game? 15 divided by 3 is greater than 15 divided by 5, because this calculation has got a larger groups. So we could say that this boy here, on this occasion, won the game. Okay, this is your activity slide. I'd like to pick up your pencil. I'd like to think about which card has the greater value here. So jot down those two number sentences and the comparing symbol in between that's most appropriate for these calculations. Do that now. Yep, so we've got 4 times 4 on this side, and we've got 5 times 4 on this side. Now straight away we can see that this boy has got more groups of 4. So we know that 4 times 4 is less than 5 times 4. So on this in this game, this boy has 1. He has the greater card. Let's look at some more. So we've looked at lots of timesing ones, haven't we? And we can actually compare dividing number sentences as well. So let me show you how to do one, and then you're going to have a go. So this first question here says 30 divided by 10 and 30 divided by 6. Now let me have a think about how to work this out. So I could draw myself a picture if that was helpful. I'm going to use some number facts, I think, for me today. So 30 divided by 10, I know my 10 times table. I know that 10 goes into 30 3 times. So my total on this side is going to be 3. Now let's have a look at this side. 30 divided by 6. More of a tricky one because we haven't learned our 6 times table yet, have we? But I wonder if there's a fact I know. I recognise those two numbers together. I know my 5s, and I've recognised that fact. 5 times 6 is 30. So therefore 30 divided by 6 is 5. Again, if you didn't spot that and you had a question like that, you could draw yourself a picture. So I can see that 3 is less than 5. I'd like you to have a go at one of those now. So pause the video, and I'd like to have a go at this one underneath. Draw pictures if you're not sure. Off you go. Yeah, so 18 divided by 2 is greater than 18 divided by 3. Well done if you got that right. Let's go back to a timesing one to refresh our brains on that. So 5 times 3 is a number fact I know. I know that that is 15 because 5 groups of 3 is 15. 3 times 4 is another number fact I know, that's 12. And therefore I can compare them now. 15 is greater than 12. I'd like you to have a go at the next one. Pause the video and have a little go at this one, please. Yep, so 3 times 4 is less than 4 times 5. Okay, another listening slide from me. I think this is the last one before you have a go at getting on yourself. So here we go. We've got what looks like more of a tricky calculation. We've got 3 times 8 is greater than 8 times something. We don't know what that number is at the moment. Now, let me show you something. If that number was a 3, let's make that a little bit bigger. If it was a 3, my array would look a bit like this. 3 groups of 8, or 8 groups of 3. Now, in order for this to make sense, it can't be 8 groups of 3. It can't be. So that's not right. I wonder if we can cut some of those out though. I wonder, because we know that this is a smaller number, this digit here needs to be less than 3, doesn't it? What about less than 2? Less than 3, what about 2? So 3 times 8 is greater than 8 times 2. That would work. We could also have a 1. 8 times 3 is greater than 8 times 1. We could also have a what? Yeah, 0. Because 8 times 0 is nothing. Therefore, this would certainly be greater than nothing. I just wanted to show you that because you might face a question a bit like that today. Okay, here we go. We've got to the activity part. So pick up your pencils. I'm going to steadily just go through the slides. So pause the slide at each time. Again, like normal, we're working on doing an hour of maths if possible. So if you're really going over that, then just stop when you need to. And the extension at the end is really for children that are very confident about this lesson today and would like a challenge. Okay, so here we go. And now I'll go through the answers. So I'll flick through the slides again, pause when you need to, just to mark your work. Well done, everyone. Please post on Dojo. I love seeing what you've been up to at home. I love seeing how you got on with these activities. And I'll see you soon. Bye.